was a bit creepy. You're too close. Hello beautiful souls, and welcome back, and welcome to Scorpio season. I have a really exciting pick a card reading for you guys today, so let's get started. Okay, that's better. I feel like I'm here. Okay. So I'm really excited to bring the second season of these card readings. So if you guys are new, last season, which was Libra season, I did a pick a card reading to see what Libra season was going to bring. And of course now I'm going to follow that up with doing this one for Scorpio season. So there are two piles for you to pick from, obviously card pile 1, card pile 2. So just take a moment to tune in and see which one is calling you, drawing you in. And if you can't decide, watch both, see what resonates more. So I'm using today the White Newman Tarot deck, which I just recently got. I will have a full unboxing video coming soon on that. I'm using the Work Your Light Oracle, and I'm using the Soul Plan Energy cards to just see what's coming up for you in Scorpio season. So if you chose card pile 1, let's dive in and see what this Scorpio season will hold for you. So if you chose card pile 1, then the tarot card for you this month is the Sun, which is such a fantastic card. I'm really excited for you if you received this card. If you received this pile, to be fair, I'm excited for you. This card is obviously bringing in an element of abundance, of success, growth. There's almost a connection to your inner child here. And I also really feel like maybe you've done a lot of shadow work and you're coming into a space where you can focus on the light or the sunnier aspects. Maybe you've kind of come through that deeper, darker realm of healing. And I don't mean darker as in negative, I mean darker as in, you know, going into the depths. Coming through that, and you're now stepping into a more sunny space where you can really shine because you've integrated and healed a lot. So that's really what I'm getting for this card. I really love this deck. I think it's just there's so many amazing messages in this image. So firstly, she is literally bouncing the sun in her right hand. So obviously we know that the right hand and the right hand side of the body is connected to the masculine, and by the masculine I just mean the actionable side, the side that, you know, goes out into the world. That's controlled by the left side of the brain. So we have more of a logical space coming in already, and I almost feel like she's really in control. She is really standing her ground, standing in her power. So I really do feel that you might have been on a bit of a healing journey and you're coming out the other side and you're like, I have my stuff together finally. I mean, as you know, it's not perfect, but it's coming into a space where I'm feeling really good. And actually I'm going to take a minute to honor that, to look back and to honor my successes. And I'm also going to take a minute to start to assert myself and to start to shine my light. I understand who I am now, and I'm ready to share that and really step into that more in an everyday sense. So she has a real look of determination and focus on her face. And it's quite steely. I feel like, not in a negative way, but you wouldn't want to mess with her. Not because she'd be aggressive or harsh or anything like that, but just because she knows herself. She's really, really understood and been through that journey and is just really ready to step into her successful side. So I just really feel like there's a lot of positivity that's coming in through this card. So if you have been on a personal healing journey, whether that's for a few months or a year or longer, I think this card is saying, actually, you have done so much work. It's time for you to acknowledge that and to step into yourself a bit more, to step into your power. And I feel what's really great here is the Oracle card that I picked to go with this from the Work Your Light deck is boundaries, and it says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? So it might be that in the past, older versions of you would have been a people pleaser or let people get away with certain things, and actually now that you're in this space, you're like, no. The answer is no. I don't need to expand on that. No is a whole sentence in and of itself. I don't need to go any further than that. So I feel like these two cards together are really telling me you're really here to stand in your power in Scorpio season, which I think is really exciting because I think there's quite a strong power to Scorpio anyway. It's definitely an energy for me that feels very assertive and like it's not afraid of the dark, right? So it's happy to come out and share what it's learned and step into its light a bit more. So this might just be a little bit of leftover checking in with yourself and saying, okay, how do I feel about my boundaries? Do they reflect who I am now? Now that I'm this person, do I feel that these are working together and actually that I'm in a space where, yes, I know who I am, I know my boundaries, I can assert them. So maybe do some journaling and just check, what are my boundaries? How am I feeling about them? What were my boundaries? What has shifted? Because our boundaries aren't a stationary thing. It's not just like, okay, that's it, done. You know, it's as fluid as us, and we're fluid people who move and change and go with the flow and flow with seasons and time, etc. So really, it's okay if in the past you had a certain boundary and now it's changed, whether that's you've dissolved it because it doesn't apply to you anymore or it doesn't feel authentic, whether it's because you've created a new one because maybe that one wasn't strong or asserted enough for you. So I think this is a real theme for you actually throughout Scorpio season, is looking at your boundaries, looking at how you're stepping into your power and how you can step into it more, which honestly is really exciting. I feel like this is going to be a really fun and interesting season for you. And then the soul plan energy I picked for you, which interestingly came up in the Libra season one, so let me know if you picked this in the Libra season card pile reading. But what came through was the energy 18, finality and solution. It says finality, decisions and past life integration. So this is interesting because I feel like this is a continuation from what you may have learned or been through in Libra season. I'm pretty sure in that video we spoke about there being a potential for something ending and you're going to find something out and it's going to change something and it's maybe going to make you step away from someone. So that could be why you're asserting your boundary and you're coming into your power, right? So it might be a continuation of that experience. If it is, then do let me know in the comments below. I'd be really interested to hear if it's actually you're really flowing with these seasons really quite strongly actually. So if you didn't watch that video, please go back and watch that and let me know which one you pick. But also consider that this is an element of finality and I feel like maybe you've made a decision and it seems to me very obvious in her face, like she's very much like, I'm ready, I'm going there. So maybe you felt like you weren't really sure which direction to take and something has happened to help you to assert your boundaries, but also to help you to make that decision. So coming together, these energies are saying, you know, you're ready, step into that. You are the sun, right? That's what you need to realize, is that you're not second to somebody else. You are the sun. You are the main character of your own life. So how do you want that life to go? What do you want to happen to it? So how can you focus? So there's a lot of goal orientation here. So as a continuation, it could be an ending of something, bringing in this newness, and it's like, great, let's set some goals. What would you like to create? What would you like to happen, right, in this time? So how are you going to step into that? What can you do to honor what it is that you'd like to create and like to bring forth with that goal? So together, I think these are really positive, really helping you to step more into your path, right? Bringing you more of a focus so that you can really achieve your goals, which will require you to assert your boundaries and to speak your truth and to step into your light more and be more of yourself in a really grounded, everyday kind of way. You know, we think of the sun and it is more masculine, it is more connected to the ego, and I see the ego as like your earthly physical self as well as how we traditionally think of the ego. So maybe it's really about you being a bit more present and a bit more physically here, and therefore how can you assert yourself and assert your boundaries in that space. So I'm really excited for you if you chose this card pile and this reading. Let me know how this reading resonates below, and of course that might be at the end of Scorpio season that you let me know, but I'd be really intrigued to hear if this is a continuation of the last reading, but also if you really feel like you're stepping into that element of yourself, really becoming the sun of your own world, your own life, which I'm really excited for you. So if you chose card pile number 2, then your tarot card is actually the White Newman from the White Newman deck, which is really interesting. It fell out when I was shuffling with another card and I was like, no, those cards, I know they're next to each other in the deck, so let me just split them up and reshuffle, and I picked it again. So this is definitely a message for you, which is really interesting. This is actually meant to represent like the cave paintings, you know, the element of this bison like running and being everywhere and connecting to the element of co-creation, which I think is really, really interesting. So actually there's a lot of creativity that's coming in for you if you've chosen this in Scorpio season, which I'm quite excited to hear how you're going to interpret that, what creativity means for you and how you're going to bring creativity into Scorpio season for yourself and share that, because as I say, Scorpio is this really deep, intense, mystical, occult, really emotional energy actually, that maybe seems quite standoffish to some people, but they're really not like that. So I'd be really intrigued to know, how can you bring a bit more creativity into this space, into this time, and what is it that's being stirred within the depths of your soul that's ready to be shared, that's ready for you to bring forth? Maybe try or see what's coming up for you, because when I work with clients and I talk about creativity, very often they're like, oh, I'm not creative at all. And actually everybody has some level of creativity within them, especially if you have like a 6 or a 9, for example, in your soul plan. So I really would be interested to hear how you are going to bring creativity into your life, whether that's just for an element of fun and joy and expressing your soul, or whether that's really to bring a focus into a goal that you have, for example. I would really be interested to hear how that's going to show up for you. I'll just read you what else is the interpretation, because obviously this isn't a usual card in every deck, so I'm just going to read you the interpretation of the author. The keywords for this are creation, starting point, and divine inspiration. The God's Father runs free across the virgin earth's plains in apparent weightlessness, just like the bison in ancient cave paintings. It traverses the world, making sure that all of creation is in order. Above him, dimensions open and the power of the sun glows between his horns. The bronze stars and bird guide him as the morning breaks. The white numen symbolizes creation through action, the perfect and divinely inspired path resulting from movement and momentum. Act, innovate, make the world anew. So there's this real, actually it feels quite Taurus to me. It's like you've got an idea, you're going to run with it. So I'm really excited for you to step into that creativity more and to take the inspired action that this card is calling for you to take, and really see where that takes you. So then we have the oracle card that I chose for you, which is from, again, the Work Your Light deck, and it's Mintaka, and it says longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So this is really interesting that this card came, and I feel like it connects quite a bit to the soul plan energy, which I'll show you in a moment. But this card to me is really about you connecting to your soul, but also connecting to your past lives. Like, who have you been before? Who is your soul? There might be an element of connecting to water as well, whether that's to receive intuition, maybe doing some water spells, or going to the beach, or going to listen to a river, or listening to some, I don't know, ocean music or something like that. I just think that might bring the inspiration to you, that might bring the creative idea to you, and then you're like, wow, okay, I feel so inspired, I have to take action, I have to go out there and create this. So I feel like there's a past life connection that's going on here. The other meaning for this card is to really focus on your root chakra and feeling like you belong here, because it says you're longing for home. So it might be that you're a starseed, or it might be just that you're somebody who's recently moved, or something has happened where you're not quite feeling that you're in a space of home, right? So obviously we can say that home is where you make it, and home is the people who you're with, but actually sometimes it is the space that you're in that helps to make it feel like that. So if you have recently moved, just recommend, you know, creating a space that feels really loving for you. And even if that means you unpack, you know, your crystals, for example, before you unpack your pots and your pans, you can just say to the person you've moved with, or if you're on your own, or even the pet that you've moved with, you can just say to them, I just need to do this first, we'll do the rest in a minute, and just create the corner for you that feels good. Because also, in order to receive inspiration, you need to be able to tune into your soul. So that could be meditation. Now, meditation can be interpreted however you'd like it to be. So it can be the typical, like closing your eyes, going within. It can be guided meditation. It can be listening to music. It can be singing. It can be dancing. It can be going for a walk. It can be whilst you're doing something creative, right? So I just think creating that space within your home, if you don't already have one where you can tune into your soul every day, is going to help you feel like you're rooted here, and therefore then you can bring through your creative ideas, because it's really hard to manifest something if you're not grounded, because you need obviously all of your chakras to be aligned and balanced to really bring it all the way down. Otherwise it's going to get blocked in one of those chakras. So I think it's important for you to focus on grounding, and I think it's really important as well to maybe carry around like black tourmaline or smoky quartz, or something that's really like a dark or black colored crystal, shungite, hematite, something like that, that's going to help you to stay grounded. Maybe pop it under your pillow, like really focus on that, because you are here for a reason, and perhaps you can share that through your creativity. So let's go to the soul plan energy that came through for you, which is interesting. So the energy that came through from soul plan is actually the final energy in soul plan, energy number 22, which is the energy of completion and accomplishment. And it says completion, resourcefulness, and total service. So this is really interesting to me. I definitely feel like this is where the creativity is coming in, and it's almost like you have to complete this. I feel as though it's almost like you know that this lifetime is to be of service. You know that this lifetime is not so much about you, but it's about what you can bring, what you can share. Like anything about you is just an added bonus for your soul, right? If there's a lesson or something you can do or grow or whatever. But actually this life is about you being of service and sharing what you know and doing it in a way that brings the accomplishment that you desire. And so therefore there could be something that you need to complete or finish, maybe some creative project that you've started, but also there could be a need to maybe do some past life work or some past life healing, because sometimes there's an element of maybe, you know, fear of persecution or holding back because of past life experiences. Many souls obviously have that, but at the same time, you don't need to continue that. You don't need to keep that past life challenge within you. And so that's where the Akashic Records or past life regression or healing could come in very useful. So by all means, drop me an email if you would like to book in for a session to clear that. But there's something that perhaps is maybe blocking or holding you back from the expression and the sharing. So definitely there could be a little bit of healing to do there. But I think overall that this is coming through positively, and it's basically saying you're going to complete and accomplish things. And I mean, really, this is a very accomplished energy. This is an energy that really gets things done to a very high quality and is very successful. So, you know, bringing these together, there's a real opportunity to be this co-creator and accomplish your dreams, accomplish your soul in a creative way and in a very grounded way as well, which I think is really important to keep mentioning that. So let me know how this reading resonates with you in the comments below, and again, that might be at the end of Scorpio season, but I'll be really excited to hear about what you've been creating or bringing into the physical, so let me know in the comments below. So I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it guides you and brings you the insights or the support that you need during Scorpio season, and I will see you in next week's video. Oh, my neck really hurts, don't know why. I'm gonna go inside before it rains. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try not cutting my head off. Oh dear God, okay. I don't know. Focus. Okay, it's still cutting my head off a bit, but does anyone care? Not really. Go with it. We have a wonderful pick a card reading for you today. Oh, why do I do that? I feel like a politician. I have I'm just not feeling this angle. Can I do this or something? I don't like it. I do not like it. Is that working? That feels better. So if you guys already, so I'm really excited. So let's dive in. When the rainbow rhythm starts to sway, dance with me, make me sway. That's not how it goes, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Like the lazy ocean hugs the shore, sway with me, sway my boat, do 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 do. Do 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 da da dee da da dee da da da. Okay, I'm focused. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so this card is obviously bringing in an element, and also it's over the left side of the brain. So there's a lot of let me know how it resonates below. So if you could, why can't I speak today? God, I think I'm just so excited. Hang on, I've got an itchy finger.